Hey everybody, I'm back and feeling a lot better now, of course. Instead of down 20%, I'm only down 7.4%. So far, the decision to hold or to buy more was proper. So let's go through the trend formations. Just to explain, I showed you how we drew this trend, and it's a lot shallower than this trend, this one. This nasty trend right here. Now this nasty trend right here is just, come on. It's just really nasty. So now, we broke this trend, and then when we rose above it here, we eliminated any possibility of a downtrend off of this pivot point, because it would be up. See what I mean? So we go to the next pivot point, which was here. And notice that this one is actually steeper, which is kind of ominous, but kind of good, because that means it's probably going to have a better reaction. And you see we're symmetrical again. So we broke in the next, even though it's a steeper trend, it's a higher, it's at a higher level. So we're okay there. And on the retest of that trend, it dawdled around and made a box. And it broke out of the box. That would also be a buying opportunity. Now, we're playing around with this horizontal resistance now. And the price change bar is going to distract me. Where is it? Let go. Horizontal resistance right off this. And we are above it. So I'm almost break even now. All I have to do is get up around here and I'll be break even. 7.46 still. So we need another move up. But it is broken everything except for this box right here. So we've got this box resistance. And it's probably going to get hung up in here somewhere. Wish I could left click trend line. I have think or swim, but I can't figure out how to use it. My eyesight's bad. And it's really stressful for me to do that. So these two are going to be, up in here is going to be a resistance point. But at that point, if it gets up into this formation, I'm going to be up for the day. Well, up on my SPX puts. I have puts on a short triple leveraged fund. The reason is because the short fund's like $13 and the long fund is like 100. So the options are cheaper on the short fund, so I just buy puts on the short fund, which means I'm long. Imaginative, I know, but pretty simple actually. It has to do with price not being fancy and complex. So, and wanting triple leverage funds, and the TNA TZA combination for the small caps, the spreads are pretty wide. I'm not on the out of the money options, and like with the S&P 500, when I decide to sell, I can sell at market because there's 2 or 3 cents max between the bid and the ask. And I just put if it's 33 to 35, I just put in 34 and it fills, or just put in a market and sell it. If you're really up, you don't care, just put in a market. But the bid-ask spreads are really tight on the S&P 500, SPXL, and XPSS triple leverage funds. So I like trading them because of that. I don't have to mess around with. Someday I'll buy an option with the wide spread. And you see, it's just a pain in the butt, and the threat of having to sell at market in the bids on the bid is pretty high on those wide spreads too. So I just prefer to trade narrow spreads, and I always look at that before I trade an option. So, but be sure to look at the bid-ask spread. If it's wide, if it's more than a few cents, find something else. Anyway, we're watching this, and so far so good. I certainly wouldn't be buying now, but I would be holding. And we're gonna maybe before this video is over, we'll get up into here, and I'll think about selling. And let's go to the larger magnitude. This is a 5-minute chart, so it's pretty short magnitude. And you can see we've got our candle flame and waiting for a reaction off of this pivot. All right here. So we expect to see some kind of dip at some point, and if it keeps going up, you just move the pivot up until it makes the dip, and then you'll have your trend line. So maybe we'll see it form right now. We saw that other formation break while I was making the video. And since we're holding anyway now, but you can see how these formations come together in the differing magnitudes also. I see you didn't see any of that on a 15-minute chart, right? Just a big, stop it. Just a big, candle flame, upside down candle flame. That's a reversal pattern, by the way. When you see that, go the other way. But even that's not apparent on like the 5-minute chart. You get a clearer picture of what it actually is in the formation. And you see these formations are valid at any magnitude. That's what I love about it. You can go down to 1 minute. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. That's a 1 hour. 1 minute and you see the trend line. Well, this is still an if. We don't know where this trend line is going to be, but it looks like it's going to be right there. Little double top. Trend retest. Broke trend, retested, down she goes. And where she lands, hopefully is going to be like right here. You don't want to see it retrace too much of that if you want to keep a bull going. So in the 5-minute, see all these trend lines? It's just all kinds of stuff to look at. We'll leave those in. This is no longer valid. This is long gone. This is gone. And how about that? When I said, when it breaks this, there's no more possibility for a downtrend. There you go. Got our first uptrend for the day, which hopefully will continue. All right, so they push this pivot up a little bit more. All right, there's the last pivot for downtrends. It breaks up here, and we're probably going to break up, and this is, you have to go out a little bit to see that. You have to go out further. There we go. There's that nasty technical failure, which is almost corrected. Where is it? It's right here where this line is. These are all just those trend lines we were looking at. So what we want to see is we want to see it come up and break this trend line and try to rally. And of course then it's going to, because the barometer's at 107. And I mean, you can get back up here, but maybe even, maybe even test highs. But I don't know. I would say more likely you're going to hit here and then make a, I don't know what it's going to do. On this scale, boom, boom, boom. On this scale, it's not done going down. But on this scale, maybe done going up, I don't know. But this is a pretty valid trend line. And supposedly, we've got 1, 2, it's hung up here. So anyway, I'll be watching it. If it breaks this trend line, then I'll sell, take my losses, and go home and come back tomorrow. We'll see what it's going to do. How much time do we have left? Oh, only 9 minutes. So maybe we should look at some other stocks. What do you think? Here's some of the stuff I was looking at. Palantir, I was going to I tried buying a call right here, and I shortly got out. DraftKings. What did I do with Draft? I bought a call and shortly got out. Some other. I was looking at this one, the petroleum, for a call. On the weekly, it's busted its trend, but that means it's due for a retest, so that's no good. We're coming up. Hopefully this won't turn into a friggin' Head and Shoulders. What we're hoping is to see this. See how we have this little, on a smaller scale, we've got this little trend right here, then all of a sudden it steepens. So hopefully we're going to see this steepen so we can draw a trend from here. You see? So it's getting to the crunch. It's either going to rally and break this and move up, or it's going to get stuck on this trend line. This all here could be considered. Let's go to the 15-minute. Yeah, so, yeah, this isn't done. It's just getting started, in my opinion, for whatever it's worth. Let's see, Doji Star, bearish. Sounds like a perma-bear. Says it's a bearish reversal. I'm afraid he's going to be disappointed, to tell you the truth. Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be buying here. I would be buying down here, or maybe right here looked like we might get a little bump out, but that was a bad trade. And what I do wrong there, remember, I didn't wait for it to break out, and if I had, I would have known which direction to go. I would have had a really good trading day. Wouldn't have had to load up on it. I'd still have funds to roll over and buy long. But because I didn't wait for the formation, and because I was stubborn, and I didn't, denying reality, I stayed in. But really, right about now, where am I at now? 7.46%. I'd have to refresh that, actually, to get it to update. But probably about still there, which is a lot better than down 20%. So this is our pivot point. We can look at it on the 15-minute chart now. That's another thing. Notice how we're getting up larger in magnitude as the rally progresses. So we had a pretty much straight up move all the way to here, and now we've got a pivot point. A match to our pivot point, sorry. Backing off, probably to retest this little trend that I drew. Or maybe to decline a little bit more. If it goes down significantly farther than that, yeah, I'd probably be out if it breaks this trend line. Or more likely this one, which will probably be maybe at the same point by the time it gets there. So we got a couple minutes left. Let's see what the markets are doing. Dow's recovering, only up we want to go on the weekly. Looks pretty good for a recovery, and we see this little trend here looking to be broken. That's a nice shape. You want to see it accelerate, though. You want to see it curve up. That's the only thing I don't like about that. S&P, this has to be updated. Let's see if we can find it somewhere else. Alright, let's refresh. You have to refresh these charts periodically. So I'm waiting for it to refresh now. Alright, here we go. US 30, Dow Jones. There's a little downtrend right here. So you might expect a little backing off here. That's US 5. Oh, come on. So I have to go to the technical chart. This site's a pain in the ass, but I actually like it because it's got a white background, and my eyesight isn't good. And Thinkorswim is actually kind of hard on my eyes. plus I